Hello once again. Just wanted to put together, in the past when I've done these videos, I've kind of always started off the same way, saying I'm just going to put together a short video, and my videos have been pretty horrible. They've drug on and drug on and drug on and been long, and I've ranted, and it's not been good. So today, I really am going to make a concerted effort to make this short and sweet, and really just a companion piece to the written review that I just did on the, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, Wanker or Wancher pen. It's the Ryuko model. Hope I'm saying that right. And this is from wasn't sent to me. It was something that I've bought from Fountain Pen Revolution before. This was something I was just looking around on their website, saw it, kind of fell in love with it, and ordered for myself. So I think the guy's name that I don't have my notes in front of me, but it's Kevin something. I'll have that in the review. That owns and runs Fountain Pen Revolution. Really cool website. If you haven't seen it, I'll try and remember to put a link to it in the video. There is a link in the written review that I did. Cool website. Some really cool, neat pens. A lot of pens that don't get the love, don't get the spotlight that I kind of think they deserve. But quickly, here we go, just to show you a little video, show you what the pen looks like, give you a few little thoughts and impressions. Okay, as promised, I'm going to run with Wancher. Could be Wanker, but I'm going to go with Wancher in terms of the pronunciation. Again, the Ryuko model. I got this one through Fountain Pen Revolution. Retails for $78. And just, in my opinion, absolutely, it was stunning to me. A gorgeous pen. Quickly, the dimensions on it, you can see, I mean, I have fairly big hands, and this is not a small pen. It's not hugely girthy. I have some pens that are a little bit thicker, but not too many that are all that much longer. Capped, this booger is 14.5 centimeters. Posted, begins to get a little unwieldy. It does post, and posts fairly securely, but as you can see, it does not post very deeply. And man, it just makes for a long pen. Posted, come up with 18.3 centimeters posted. The widest portion of the cap, I came up with 1.5 centimeters, and the barrel, and it's pretty much uniform. The barrel doesn't really, I didn't put the calipers on it, but just visually from here to here, I don't think there's really any drop. Kind of in the middle of that section, I came up with 1.2 centimeter. Hopefully, can I get it to focus? Not so much. Besides just the looks of the pen, this was the business end of the pen just really shone for me. This line of pens is currently coming stocked with Yowo nibs, Jowo, which is a German brand. As you maybe see on there, I ordered mine in a medium. These are not pens that, if you're looking for something that's a little bit soft or has a little bit of flexibility, these aren't so much it. They're fairly stiff. not exceedingly wet, but certainly not anything close to dry. I love the way that this writes. It's buttery smooth. Having said that, it has just the tiniest hint of feedback. It's not really what I would call toothy, but there's just a tiny little hint of feedback in it, and it's just a superb nib. Another thing, and I didn't mention this in the written review, but thing that's kind of cool. This is a Japanese-made pen. Comes out of Japan, and similar to I've not got a lot of experience with Japanese pens. I have several Pilot Metropolitans, and up until 2 weeks ago, that was the only thing I had with a Japanese pen. About 2 weeks ago, I ordered my first sort of little bit upscale Japanese pen. I ordered a Platinum 3776. This pen shares something a little bit in common with it. It's same concept, slightly different design. This pen, it has a spring-loaded inner cap. Now with the Platinum, when you put it in and screw it, you don't feel any resistance until you get to the last bit of turn, and there's a spring in the Platinum. There's a spring at the top. I'm assuming there's a spring in the top in this as well, but I'm not certain of that because, well, it would have to be in the top, but I guess the difference is the inner cap is designed with this one such that as you feel it push the spring in upon insertion. Like if I just put this on here and just turned without pushing, the threads won't ever engage. You have to push it in and start to turn, and it's a little stiffer than you would normally think a pen should be. And that's that creates this, again, the same concept as the Platinum, creates an inner seal where, now, I don't know that Wancher is making this claim. Platinum makes the claim with their pens that by having a seal like that, you can leave a pen sit for up to a year, uncap it, and it'll immediately write. Have no idea if that's the case with this one or not. I don't know that they've made that claim. I've had this pen now about 5 days. To note, too, so I don't know that it's going to dry out. As you can see, they call this pen a demonstrator, and technically it is. To me, and this is just my opinion, I don't know that there's any defined thing that's a true definition of a demonstrator, but when I think of a demonstrator, typically, in its purest form, a demonstrator would be clear, like the barrel is, everywhere. Cap, in piece, everything would be clear. Then second after that, I would say equally, there's demonstrators that have some tint to some colorization, but where you still see through it. This is a demonstrator. I'm not going to argue that point, but I say it sort of loosely because of the cap and the end piece and the fact that you don't capped, you don't see the nib, you don't see any of that. But you sure do see the ink. I think I've got Waterman Serenity Blue in this. It will take international cartridges. It comes with a converter. And I initially used that, and then last night when I was getting ready to handwrite out my review, I decided, this thing's too pretty not to use it as an eyedropper, so that's what I did. Time will tell. It holds so much ink. I'm guesstimating a little bit here, but I think it's somewhere between 3.5 and maybe 4 milliliters. Time will tell. I love eyedropper pens. I love that look. The however comes several eyedroppers, several pens I've had where I've converted and used them as eyedroppers. Some have burped, some have not. If you don't know what I'm talking about burping, oftentimes as your ink supply gets low, I've read why it does this, and I'm probably not going to reiterate it correctly here exactly, but basically the theory is as you're writing, when your ink supply gets low, you will oftentimes get a seepage and a kind of a blob of ink will form at the base, and then when you turn over to start to write, you'll get a big droplet of ink that'll just fall out on the paper. Supposedly this has to do with the warmth of your hand heating up with the reduced amount of ink and higher amount of air that's in it. Like you can see right now, I just have a small amount of air, but if my ink gets down to here, you have this much air in it. And as you heat that air up, pressure builds and pushes more ink out of it. Now, I don't know why that happens with some eyedroppers and not others. It has to be something to do with the way the feed is designed and how much ink is allowed to feed out and air to come in. But time will tell. It's going to be a while. It'll take me a while to go through this much ink to see if this line burps at all or not, but hoping that it doesn't, because that's kind of the only thing that I'm not crazy about with eyedroppers, is getting to where, you're writing in a journal, making notes in a meeting, and bloop, you get a big droplet of ink on your paper. That's no fun. That's the end of it. Here again, it's the Wancher Ryuko. This particular one was ordered through Fountain Pen Revolution. Retails, I think I said that earlier, but I'm not certain. Retails for $78. I wouldn't call it a beginner's pen because of the price. I don't think, given what you get, and when I think about other pens that I have that would be competitors to this in terms of quality and price, I think I wouldn't say that it's a bargain, but I would say it's a value. I think it's basically worth that type of money. So anyway, hope you check it out. Think you will enjoy it, and have a great day.